for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
How's your leg?
I don't even know if it recorded you saying that, so why don't you just go for it again? Come on.
Hey, Isaac.
Yeah.
How's your leg?
Bitten by an insect. Welcome to episode 119 of That's a Shame. I'm sitting here, hobbled all the way from my room, with a leg that's tearing itself apart from the inside out. For another big episode in the unorthodox recording space.
It's been a bad week for us bodily.
Go on.
Hasn't it?
What else
I had my friend the armpit
horrid.
cyst.
It sounds so horrid.
It was.
It's
That's
gone
the
now.
thing. Oh.
Did you antibiotic your way into oblivion?
No.
Did you shoot it out with a harpoon?
No, I was just sat here at 2 a.m. chatting to my friend Danj, and I was like, "Oh, my armpit
damp
doesn't hurt, and it's a bit damp."
Oh.
And let me tell you,
Okay.
it was a spiritual experience.
A Pascano.
Exactly.
Wow.
In a very
sorry for
literal
that,
sense.
listeners. Mine's much less disgusting. It was just bitten by an insect. I'm kind of waiting to see in that roulette wheel way which power I'll be getting this time.
Have you felt
Fingers crossed
anything?
for spider.
Have you felt anything like coming on?
Well, I've been quite cold, so maybe a very weak bug.
Wow, you've got one of those
And
worst powers possible.
I had a really strong craving for watermelon today.
So you're going to be someone who can freeze or
Yeah.
be frozen by various
That's
watered
really
fruits.
quite a power. But anyway, I'm Isaac and you're Declan. That much
That's
is
the way.
certain. Even, we talk of these ailments, but they're just part of the many issues that come along with these corpses that we drive around the world.
Exactly.
And what with having to live in a body, which is, for now...
The ultimate disgrace.
It's more than a disgrace, it's an embarrassment,
Okay.
to be sure. These things are likely to happen.
Do you think the appliances around the house are laughing at us?
I hate them. Let's leave it at that. Those fucking good for nothing up there on their plastic and chrome thrones.
When like my girlfriend's playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PlayStation and it's
Oh, you mean all the time?
yeah, and it's audibly wheezing. It's the only time that Isaac feels any kind of superiority over the robot world.
And in fact, I've been stuffing it full of dust just from the outside to kind of get one up on the beast.
You should give it some asbestos, see how it does.
Yeah, I bet it'll be absolutely fine with it. We've got one episode for you. I daren't say a hell of an episode because I'm very tired myself. But I've actually prepared some content.
It's mad.
Before all that, though, we just wanted to check in with the newest tendrils in the Shame City virus. Bit of a mixed metaphor, we will appreciate, but we're going with it. Which is, of course, Declan, social media manager, as you have now been promoted to. Go.
The Discord.
Oh, how's it going? What is it?
Well,
Where
I'm
is it?
sure that for everyone else, it's been a real blast. But as is the norm, for me, it's been nothing but a trial.
How come? What's going on?
Because
All the good
I'm not
features.
allowed the only useful feature, which is to be able to upload anything.
Yeah, Declan's been kept out of those for some reason.
And I mean, I've re-downloaded the whole application for the desktop, and nothing.
No upload button.
Nothing at all.
I bet if I looked, I could
I
see one.
updated my phone and re-downloaded the app. Nada. Nothing. Still can't
Check your
do it.
account. Oh, maybe it's an account thing.
What do you mean?
Well, we'll have a talk about it off air because it's certainly very dull. But
Are you saying
let's bring the buoyancy
they know
back.
that my account isn't good enough?
I've been in touch with some of the guys over there at
thought
Trust
it
and
might be
Safety. We've got over at shame.city/discord, shame.city/discord, this great big chat server. And the party atmosphere, it's a real kind of flamboyant, decadent, Belle Epoque, Gatsby-esque vibe that we conjure with our mouth words. But that's only going to be for a few hours a
Why
week,
have you
traditionally.
used Gatsby? Everyone's talking about Gatsby today.
Are they? Well,
Everyone in my life's talking about Gatsby today.
well, it must just
and
be
all it's done is remind me that I think it's quite dull.
the film or the book.
Both.
Which more?
I mean, the film is more dull.
But
obviously.
Good Lana Del Rey song. So
okay, well, swings around. So better than the book. You're right.
Word.
Fitzgerald never bothered with that.
Don't get me off track, because what I was saying is that whilst the incredible party atmosphere pervades every millisecond of the pod, you may be left bereft when at the end you hear that and you're like, oh, it's the outro. I'll stay and listen to this fantastically chosen, definitely legally sourced piece of music.
And just to make sure, of course, that there's no pitch shifting going on, that it wasn't a secret ghost episode.
Or sometimes I do sneak something in at the end. That's quite rare, but you might want to go back and check for that anyway.
Often it's a secret slur against me.
Yeah, just fuck that guy. But now we have solved the problem of this twice a week party, because at shame.city/Discord, don't know about you, but
the party rolls 24/7.
It's going non-stop. It's like the 90s when everyone was coked up to the eyeballs on neoliberalism.
And of course, as with the 90s, there was always someone called Jub Jub Tree in the background.
Yes, and Grunkalunka, just sitting there idly, not contributing to the chat, kind of menacingly soaking up our words and content for free.
But of course, a few super cons in there as well.
Absolutely. It's been good so far. I'm surprised anyone bothered to join. We've had, especially because with this audience, for whatever reason, we skew more diversely than most podcast communities I'm in, where it's mostly like 20-year-old guys who all use Discord. So they're like, sign up to our Discord, and everyone's already there. Like, everyone, 100,000
They
people.
made the Discord for the show.
Yeah, well, quite literally sometimes.
Yeah.
Now we have quite a few people who downloaded it especially for our show, and that's quite an honour. So why don't you remind people once more, Declan, social media manager, I don't know if I mentioned.
Thank you.
How they, if they're just sitting there lurking, how they can get involved, and more, why they'd want to.
They can visit shame.city/Discord. DISCORD. And there, is that going to take them through to the web?
Yeah, we'll take them there, but if they've already got the app downloaded, it will redirect
just
to
redirect straight open.
But they don't need to download anything, do they?
Not if they don't want
No,
to.
if you don't want to, we'd never make you, but it is better.
And you can get it on the mobile as well. So you can shame on the go.
Excellent. Mobile shame.
And, you know, we're there, we're answering questions, we're asking questions.
I'm posting extracts from the book I'm working on.
We're trying to avoid more threats.
Yeah.
Because we've opened up a new avenue for those.
That was instantly fulfilled and sort of...
Yeah, they really took us up on that one.
Yeah, insta-threat.
Good job. So, yeah, there's loads going on.
There's extra content. We might do some, like, giveaways. I've got a load of, like, game codes.
Give away?
I've got hundreds of the fucking
that's
things.
Great.
All packed up. Yeah, we'll do stuff. We'll make it happen.
Just so you know, I haven't got anything to give away.
Declan's gonna give
I
away.
actually will be probably taking most of the stuff that Isaac gives away. So the one reason to get to the Discord is to beat me to it. Because mine won't send me notifications for love nor money.
Good. Well, we'll set up a little channel called #Declan's Food Bank or something, where I'll just send you like a coupon
Venmo
for some
Declan.
McVitie's. But yeah, come along, introduce yourself, hang about. There's no obligation to do anything particularly entertaining.
No.
Why not?
Something we've taken to heart on the Discord.
But we have a whole channel where we're finding like shames of just the moment.
It is quite a nice, I think, behind the scenes where we're significantly less performative. Not that we're overly performative here.
I don't think I'm...
But No, dear.
Am I?
Sorry.
Go on. Are you saying I have lower energy in
No,
real life?
no. What in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're more willing to to take things through, to go step by step with things rather than just say it's probably just shit.
Okay.
You want to give people a chance.
That's fair. And speaking of giving people a chance, or chance itself, it's one of those concepts that boggles the mind, doesn't it? No one understands how probability works.
Predictability.
It's actually never been solved. And one area in which chance can have a big impact on our lives is in relationships, and it's in meeting people, albeit fleetingly. And sometimes we just wish, what if in those sliding doors moments, what if we'd said something to that person standing on the bus? What if we'd waved to that old woman across the platform concourse, spilling crumbs all over the place?
You're not going to read us some missed connections,
What
are
if
you?
we went to Craigslist at long last? A topic that was on my Google Keep from day one of this show.
I know. How have we never done
Dunno.
Craigslist material?
It's often, I've looked a few times before a show where we've not had any immediate content, by which I mean every show, pretty much, bar none. But for whatever reason, they've never been like a good selection. Today, I was blessed with 6 that I think have a really, they kind of demonstrate to me everything that is interesting about misconnections as a concept. So for those who don't know, this is on Craigslist. I think it's probably not where it originated, but it's where it's most famous.
Yeah.
Is if you see someone hot.
Well, they do them in the newspapers, don't they? That's what I thought you were going to be reading.
Oh,
They're always
in the Metro.
They're always in the Metro, aren't they? The ones in the Metro are amazing because they're always so specific.
Right.
Like they're clearly like just written by one guy for the Metro, because it's always
Fun job.
hey, to the woman in the brown coat, you were 5 feet 7 inches. You had a slightly yellowing sclera of the eyes. You were whistling Bach's Third Prelude on the 7:45 from Baker. You know, it's just mad. And it's like, but then there's like a description of who they are, which I always find would be an amazing thing. I would love to base all of my relationships on how someone would describe me.
I'm the ugly cunt that was leering at you on the bus.
And then themselves. But then, the follow-up has to be a quick description of themselves. And, you know, hey, fancy fucking sometime. But the discrepancy between the two halves is always amazing, because the first half, where they're describing them, is always very detailed and very complimentary, almost poetic. It's like, you know, you stepped onto the train and brought with you the aura of heaven itself. And then the last line is as nondescript as possible and just very, very desperate. That's like,
I'm a well-endowed white.
yeah,
Hit me up.
I was the man with brown hair, fancy coffee. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? The reason I've kind of scrolled through, I set the parameters to the last 30 days of Craigslist misconnections, only in London, because it's our stomping ground. We're going to have some insight. We're going to be able to picture and share the pictures of where these events took place for the most part. And I picked 6. Sure, the titles had to grab me, but that wasn't all. My criteria were that it displayed the full gamut of what misconnections have to offer, which I suppose the overarching keyword would be utter futility.
Well, yeah.
Total fucking bleak, pointless hell.
I mean, when they're in the Metro, if we, for the sake of argument, said that some of them are real,
Yeah.
right, then there is at least a chance, because they're all, I was on the train, you were on the train.
Yeah, especially if it's a commuter thing.
People read the Metro.
They're always
so
just left strewn along the carriage anyway.
there's a chance that they might be on there. But what are the fucking odds that the one person in the whole world who you lusted after on the bus is also checking daily the
On
Craigslist?
And also, like, you know, I know you said they're quite specific, but all the ones I've read, well, not all, but most, are vague enough that they could at least pertain to another person. And given that, like, imposter syndrome affects neurosurgeons who are like, oh, I just don't feel like I should be in this business, or like A-list celebrities who are like, yeah, it doesn't really feel real, all of this stuff. Like, I feel like people should be praising others. If someone was like, you were the really fucking hot brunette on the train, like, everyone's going to think, oh, it wasn't me. Like, surely it wasn't.
It's weird because they are often very specific, the ones that, especially on the Metro, but they, again, leave all of the salient information out. It is like very specific things, like your dress made me, think of my old high school sweetheart.
You smelt of summertime.
Without ever actually saying who the fuck they probably are.
So I'm going to go through them. Feel free to interject whenever. The order that I've gone for is basically we start standard, what I'd consider a kind of longish but fairly bog standard. Ticks a lot of the boxes for what I find upsetting about them.
Okay.
We go into a weirder one where the person is trying to convey themselves as a sort of intellectual, perhaps.
Oh no.
The third one's just creepy. The fourth one is almost certainly part of some kind of hit campaign of having not one missed connection, but in fact 8 of them taken the fuck out. Then we have one that I just think is really sweet from someone who is visiting from another country and has English as a second language. It's just a very nice sentiment. And then we end in one that is just troubling. So
you've teased me.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Let's dive in. Are you the girl in the black jacket, London Underground? You, dark pants, black jacket, longish hair, younger.
Sorry, I just can't deal with people who are not American and are not in America using the word pants to mean trousers.
Don't worry, because they're originally from the US, as we're going to learn.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad that you threw that out. But
I just can't deal with the image of like you were on the underground in black pants and a black jacket.
Younger. I don't like the word younger.
Than whom?
Yeah, than legal.
than legal.
And in great shape. Headed into the city on the tube last Thursday. Me, tall, short brown hair, blue eyes, athletic, with a black pack in my lap. I'm a bit older than you.
Oh,
so patronising already.
Dear.
We were both immersed in our phones, brackets, who isn't, until we noticed each other.
Right.
You smiled, shyly, a rare treat on the tube.
That's disgusting.
It's very creepy, like,
because
you can hear the dribble.
Yeah, and he waits for these. He's never immersed in his phone.
He's always just holding it.
He's always looking up, ready to collect the treat that is the shy, brackets, terrified.
Like a Death Eater. Do I mean a Death Eater? No, a Dementor looking to suck out the shy side.
Yeah, smiles from like any woman who's clearly scared on the tube. If this goes on to be like, oh, you unfortunately had to get off at the next stop.
For some reason, you ran the fuck away. I'm originally from the US, where people smile often, but London, oh London, has beaten all friendliness
Anyone who says
out of me.
"oh" in the written word.
It was just the letter O, capital.
London,
London.
As in I die, Horatio.
Has beaten all friendliness out of me. So I was in disbelief at first.
So I'm a miserable cunt. Fancy coffee?
Next time I looked up, you smiled at me again and brushed the hair from your eye, adorably.
From your eye?
I wanted to speak to you, but tube etiquette held me back. Besides, maybe you were smiling at something in your book. When I stepped, it was definitely that.
Yeah. Why would you be stopped by tube etiquette, but not at any point in the typing of this thing? God. This is creepy.
What about
as hell.
just normal etiquette, not being a freak etiquette? When I stepped off the train, I couldn't help but glance back, and you smiled once more as the doors closed. That's when I knew I blew it. I know you're probably not reading this, but I have to try. Are you the girl in the black jacket? The end. So this one has a mix of like desperation concealed by this supercilious attitude.
Sorry, hang on a minute.
Go on.
He said that they were both immersed in their phones. But then did he say you might have been smiling at something in your book?
Yeah, he'd seen her reading it in her bedroom the night before with the old Beanox.
And he's accidentally let it slip.
Oh, Mr. Telescope, giving him a little close-up. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Number 2 is shorter.
That was a good example, though, of one where that could have been anyone. How many women are wearing black jackets on the phone on the tube who may or may not have smiled?
I really like how much scope there is for error. Like, there are so many points where, like, that make it so impossible that literally anyone has ever met anyone else.
He didn't even say which line.
No. And also just even details like, you smiled at me. Like, what sort of smile?
You smiled at me, but
I smile at
maybe just
people.
at your book.
But like, there's the smile where it's just like a little like turn up of the lips. It's not like wanna fuck.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Imagine if we found, were you the Sondheim badge wearing, musical listening podcast?
That would be
idiot?
so funny.
We should leave them for people that we know and see if.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, we should try and get
I was just
involved.
thinking I'm going to put them for you everywhere.
Yellow hooded jumper and braided hair girl on DLR, 6th of November. Greenwich University area.
Sorry, start that again. I want to get in the...
Yellow hooded jumper
Yellow hooded jumper.
and braided hair girl on DLR, 9th of November.
Okay.
Greenwich area.
At least we've got a place. We've got a date. We've got a line.
I could not contain the admiration to myself and was poised to say hello and that we will chat later, to which you and your friend were bemused. What? You boarded the DRL. It's called the DLR, but no worries.
Sorry, what does he mean by admiration?
Yeah, wow. I don't want to think about it. Have you seen raw 1 hour photo?
Yeah.
Really...
Just like, I didn't know that you could wear yellow hoods in public, and I thought, God damn it, you're a
They're going
hero.
to clarify what the source of the admiration was.
Oh, okay, good.
You boarded the DRL, it's called the DLR, from Greenwich with your Asian friend, and you both chatted opposite me while I secretly admired your black beauty.
Oh.
I alighted at South Quay and smiled happily.
Can I have an interjection?
Yeah, go on.
We have a mutual friend who will go unnamed.
Okay.
And unidentified. Who he has, let's say, a passing admiration himself for
a preference
for women of colour. And he was talking to me recently about how he was reading an article, and at the top of the article there was the picture of the author, and he was like, sure that I recognise that picture. I'm sure I know that, but I don't know where from. And then he realised it was someone with whom he'd matched on Tinder. And then he realised that the article was about how white men are wont to exoticize women of colour on dating apps, and said he scrolled through it in utter dread of being publicly outed on this, and was grateful to find that he was not.
Wow. Close call, hey? Hope he's reflecting on that one.
He is, yeah.
Good.
No, it's a troubling time for us all.
Get in touch soon is the end of that one. So, creepier, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely fetishizing race.
Oh, sorry, was that the end?
Yeah.
He just said, I admired the fact that you were...
I admired your black beauty, possibly your Asian friend as well.
Yeah.
Couldn't contain my admiration, so I was poised to say hello, which they both found uncomfortable. Get in touch soon.
Yeah. So did he say hello?
It was ambiguous, but I assume... No, what I picture is that he kept, like, shuffling up.
Yeah.
And going... and then, like, shuffling back.
Because if he couldn't contain his admiration and went up and said, hello,
he came
I admire your black beauty to her.
Yeah.
And then is like, wonder if she remembers me. I'll post it on Craigslist.
Just so the police know who to look for. This one's short.
That's very bad.
Yeah. This one's short. I think they think it's quite innocent. I find it quite creepy.
Okay.
UCL girl. Now, I'm worried about how they know that already. UCL's university. Beanie hat, Victoria line, brackets, second carriage. A lot of detail.
What do you mean? What, like, second carriage, so from the front?
Yeah, you'd assume so, but I don't know that I trust them to...
Do people often keep track of that?
No.
Why not a time of day? I'd know if I were on the Victoria line
2 a.m.
in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was in the third carriage.
Okay, this is one sentence. I'm going to deliver it as a burst.
Okay.
Our hands kept touching. ... It were nice. Smiley face. Isn't it horrid?
That's terrible.
Wasn't he definitely?
He was
doing
definitely reaching over and grabbing her.
Grab.
But it wasn't even. He wasn't even doing like a yawn. He wasn't like doing a stretch up, and behind. He was just yawning and then just leaning forwards to touch her hand.
Yeah.
Like he thought it was a disguise, just like he thinks this is nice.
Yeah.
There needs to be, I think, a complete government enforced, I'm going to say military enforced shutdown on anything more than a 3-dot ellipsis.
It's so bad. And having just dealt with old, what I can't name him's book that I've been editing for a year now, where he sometimes uses an ellipsis with 3 dots, but sometimes 50. And Word has this fun feature where it doesn't think that's wrong. So I have to manually fix them.
It aggravates me so much. It's the number one main thing when kids come into year 7 that you have to teach them not to do.
Where have they learnt to do it?
They don't learn to do it. They learn about the ellipsis and they learn that it means suspense. And therefore they think more dots, more suspense. But there are lots of problems with this. One, it's grammatically horseshit.
It just looks horrid on the
Two,
page.
it looks dreadful because they don't do dots. They do like big circles. So it takes them
Big
20
snowballs.
minutes. But then 3 is that they always use it when there's a surprise coming. And the other thing that they do in conjunction, the yin to this yang, is they write in kind of 3 lines large capital letters what the surprise is. So the suspense is utterly ruined because
Your
whatever
eye
the
just
surprise was the
across.
first thing I read in the whole story. It's like, it was the burglar is the first thing I saw when I picked up the page. So your 5 lines of ellipses have somewhat failed.
That's unfortunate.
It were nice.
It were nice. And then a smiley face with, it's like a backwards smiley face. Now, you normally do eyes bracket. This one was left bracket, colon.
I think people who do that should be interned.
Yeah, I knew a guy who did it and it didn't go well for either of us. So that's where I land on that. This one is the nice one. I've decided to bump it up so that we have a double creep to end on.
Oh, good.
This one is, I could tell I was going to like it or hate it from the title. To a gentle British guy on District Line 2 months ago.
Okay.
Gentle, interesting word. It's an odd thing to notice about someone on the tube.
Yeah.
There aren't many circumstances, perhaps if they were holding a newborn rabbit, that you'd say, oh, what a gentle touch that person has. What a gentle way about them. But if they're just sitting there listening to probably That's a Shame, just on a statistical basis.
If you're in London, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, we've taken the whole town. We've painted it hot pink and hot blue. People
Here,
love life. Splatoon.
And of course, the Congo.
Yeah, they're our main stays at the moment. It's pretty big. So that was odd. I thought either it would go really creepy or it was going to be written by like 100-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Here we go. It was on August the 9th, 2018, around 11:30 a.m. Already good detail, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
We just changed the line at South Kensington to District Line. A young gentleman kindly offered my seat, saying, "Miss, if you'd like to sit, you can. It will create no big problem for me."
Oh. Can I just say that one thing I like about this is you say it was posted 2 months ago.
Oh, no, it was actually posted quite recently, but they've posted it about a date even further in the past.
Yeah. It's like, so people are supposed to remember that 4 months ago
Yeah,
at 11:30 a.m. on the 9th of August,
I
they were
said,
really gentle on the tube.
If you'd like to sit, you can. It will create no big problem for me. I would remember saying that myself. Something quite as clunky. I felt the way you spoke to me intelligent, though I declined it since that was the last day of my trip and I like to stand to prepare my long flight back to Japan. He's got light brown hair and eyes, wearing brown jacket and pants. It's all brown. As he went down at Cannon Street Station, which sounds like a Johnny Cash song from another universe. As he went down.
It sounds like he got shot.
Absolutely Menezes.
Yeah.
It's too soon to make jokes about that poor man. I feel bad about that. I noticed that he saw me several times. I noticed again he saw me from the platform. When the door closed...
This was 3 stops down the line. The absolute Slenderman.
When the door closed, I also felt so sad suddenly.
Oh, no.
I know. I repeatedly remember the moment. This is where I really like it, because it becomes like a weird sort of extract from like a Murakami novel, like magical realism. I sometimes imagine...
Are you saying that just because they're Japanese?
No, it's just a stylistic thing. I sometimes imagine what kind of work you're engaging in, how your life has become, and what education you might have received.
Since then.
Yeah, it's a really odd thing to like fantasize about.
That's so funny. What, like, I wonder if you've been to night school.
Learning intermediate French with Duolingo, perhaps. I can visit the UK in a few years later, but it seems unlikely to come across you again. Maybe? But you gave me good memories in the city the most I love, like a daydream in a rainy day, and last day of my trip and after the heat wave of London this year. That's quite a sentence.
Wow.
I think there's a poetry in it. I think it's a really beautiful
that's
sentiment.
Quite nice. I mean, I'm sorry that the odds are against them.
Well, it's never going to happen. I know for a fact he was hit by a bus just the other day.
He
I saw
mauled
the
to
man
death
wearing
at
the brownest
Canning
clothing.
Street Station, where it was.
I am
Cannon
Japanese.
Street?
Cannon Street, yeah. I am Japanese, having long black hair and wearing black shirts and pants during that time. I do like the plural. You'll remember me. I was wearing 6 of them at once, like Joey from Friends. So yeah, I think that's the nicest one.
Oh, that is
That's
nice.
the kind of positive end of Miss
That's
Collections.
why I want more of them.
Where it's like, young man helped me cross the road when a mugger was coming.
Fancy a handy.
Oh, and just like that, ruined. Africa trip 1974 to 1975.
What
Brackets
do
London.
you mean?
So this is the one that's definitely criminal. Look,
What do you mean? Is that where when they saw them and where?
looking for the following persons, a word that I always associate with like the police or
Yeah,
something,
definitely.
some investigation, who travelled through Africa, starting in London, hence why it's published in our area,
Okay.
ending in Johannesburg, South Africa, November 1974 to March 1975.
I really, really hope this is the police.
Should we get in touch with them?
Pray that the police are on Craigslist. Like, what dire straits is this
Looking for
investigation?
small girl.
Anyone see
last
Weird
seen
Eye?
in Portugal. Definitely not murdered by
Parents
parents.
guilty as hell.
So maybe we could get in touch with this person because it's all anonymous in this phase at least.
Yeah.
I'm going to read you the list of persons. I want you to just think who you're going to latch on to, who you're going to know about or pretend to be.
Is this going to read like the character descriptions from Cluedo?
Let's find out together. Terry Wilkinson.
Oh, they've got names.
They've got names.
Oh, they've got names, of course.
John Ewings. Chris Mercer. Barry Sexton. Christine Teen Wilkinson. That's a worrying one.
Teen, as
Teen
in...
as in a teen.
Oh,
As in, look at that teen.
Teen.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Little Joe.
The dwarf.
Yeah, well, it's in quotes. like
Every
it's
troop
a rapper.
needs an underage girl and a dwarf.
Joan Gertrude Pierce, and who could forget, on the rear end, Irish John.
I love that we started with names and we've ended with absolute
Different
caricatures.
dwarfs, Snow White nose. What could that possibly be? Like,
Is that the end of it?
That's all. That's all the information. Like, who's hoping to find?
Who's like
Nigh on.
who's sending a message to an anonymous Craigslist person going, yeah, what do you need to know about Irish John?
I've got him here. I was in the other room. We're housemates.
I've got
really
his
worrying.
I've got his kick.
What I'm expecting is that if I were to refresh the page, like one of them will be crossed out.
Yeah.
Like, it's a list they're working down slowly but surely.
I was going to be John Ewings, but I think Irish John.
I'm going to be Christine Teen Wilkinson.
Well, of course
she
you
was
are, you
called.
freak.
So,
What's your story? Why were you? Well, I mean, you were obviously kidnapped by us.
I was kidnapped by Little Joe and Irish John.
Little Joe and Irish John. I hope that it's Irish John Ewings.
Oh, yeah,
they just got them confused. Yeah. Little Joe and Irish John. That's a
hell of a
show
double
just
act.
waiting to happen.
It's a rap duo that the world's prepared to entertain.
No, I don't think they're ready yet.
Okay, but maybe like 2019
Yeah.
mixtape ready to go.
That's quite... I mean, what... If it's not the police...
I can't think of a set of events that would lead me to ask who was on holiday 35
But
years
who
ago.
who is going on... Who suddenly... 40,
Maybe they post it every day.
44 years later...
Yeah.
Is like, oh, whatever happened to Christine Teen Warrington, whatever the fuck her name was.
I'll check the London Craigslist page.
Yeah, I wonder if Little Joe ever made it back from South Africa.
It's a shame, isn't it?
It's quite dreadful.
It's a very odd choice. It implies to me a real desperation has befallen this individual, that this is like last case.
Or do you think someone is trying not very hard to do like an ARG
maybe, yeah.
sort of thing? They're
It's
like
guerrilla
setting up
marketing for the crimes of Grindelwald.
God,
Somehow.
have you looked any more into it?
Into the film?
Yeah.
No, I've
You
only
know-
seen Jenny Nicholson's tweets.
You
where
know,
it
she
all turns out to be
mentions
nonsense.
that the one of the final reveals was one of the most laughable
Oh, yeah.
things ever.
Uh-huh.
Well, Bryony and I read an article yesterday.
That gave away what it was.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert.
Okay, spoiler alert, everyone. If you want to not be spoiled on this film, skip ahead 1 minute.
During a scene in which he blows see the future dust out of a skull, Grindelwald says, "These are the things that will happen if you don't follow me." Mm-hmm. And one of them is straight up the Holocaust, in which Grindelwald basically says, "I could stop this, but if you don't follow me,
fuck?
I won't."
Wow.
In the most cartoonishly offensive version of evil.
How bizarre.
J.K. Rowling, of course,
Yeah.
bastion of defense against anti-Semitism.
She's
recent-
pro-Semitic.
Yeah.
Always said, yeah.
But
Don't worry about the kind of Gringotts goblin.
no, don't worry about that. What's really
Unrelated.
a problem is all of the Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, well, it's good to keep that kind of perspective.
Yeah, but yeah,
She
so,
calls them like she sees them.
so that's one of the twists.
That's exciting.
I
I'm
don't think
definitely
you
going
could
to go and
call
see
it a
it.
twist.
And then she also said, which I just think is a great image, that the last 20 minutes was just all the main characters standing in a circle telling you what happened. Because it was such a confusing, meandering plot. Here's our final one for today. And I've picked it to go last because it's the natural conclusion of Craigslist fuckwittery. It's long, it thinks it's art. And it's what I guess is an interesting subtlety to the missed connection is that you're not only trying to provide like forensic detail that this person might be tracked down, but with the same blow, you're also trying to like woo them. So a lot of people like our early guy about the Asian friend and Black Beauty, or the one before that about the dark coat and how we smiled, so rare these days. They're trying to like imbue their own personality, presumably what they see as strengths, into the text itself.
They do, don't they?
And that creates a weird, like it's a weird niche writing assignment. Could be an interesting one to set some of your students. Where you have to blend like persuasive writing with a kind
Descriptive
of descriptive piece that also like
Informative.
fine line between creepy
Getting
and more
your
creepy.
inform, explain, describe.
Yeah.
Which was a triplet they had to cancel because it's technically IED.
Oh no, is that true? That's true.
Yeah, with your APA, your argue, persuade, advise.
Maybe chuck in a little bounce towards the end.
Pose,
as well.
pause, pounce, bounce.
Yeah. Teaching's good. isn't it?
Improvise explosive device.
Yeah, anything will work.
Yeah, it is odd because they, as well as trying to woo, it's sort of it is a strange dynamic wherein you have to. Well, they don't seem to realise that you have to. But if you were looking to succeed in this, you'd have to appear not creepy.
Yeah.
But the very act itself
is in fact top 3 of the creepiest.
fundamentally the creepiest thing you could do is
possibly do.
anonymously post on the internet that you watched someone from afar and have wanked over them every day since.
Yeah, and then also one more layer to the onion is that whilst wooing them, you have to also like you can't go too far. It's like a public place that you're trying to hit on someone in. So there's a whole lot going on. And I think we'll find that the author of this post tackles the challenge with relish, with aplomb. Here I present An English Girl in Black
Okay.
by prohibited author.
Oh.
I'm not sure when I caught it, this disease of life, but I began...
AIDS, you mean?
I'm not sure when I caught it, this disease of life, but I began to hate it as soon as I became aware of it. I'm not a particularly exceptional man. I succumbed to my vices.
That's an amazing way to start a thread where you woo someone.
Well, no, but they're just going for the like humble, self-deprecating charm.
I see.
So far, they're going
But
for
mixed with a Wildian wit and expression.
Had you picked up on that?
I had
Yeah.
that thing about the disease of life and catching it.
Yeah, really clever, actually. I'm not a particularly exceptional man. I succumbed to my vices early, and so now I try desperately to use them gently as a crutch to not think about everyday life.
I've got HIV.
Is what he said.
Yeah.
Read between the lines. I suppose I'm good at keeping things balanced because life never leaves me. And so I keep waiting.
But it will leave you.
When I find and strangle your rosy corpse. The good news, I am told by the more God-fearing souls around me, is that all of this will certainly come to an end someday. Paragraph break. I'm looking forward to it.
So
this is like the
this
end
is
of
a
Act
cry
One.
for help.
So far.
All he said is he can't wait to die.
And that God pals say that it's on the cards.
Yeah.
Which is almost the opposite of what God pals say.
Yeah, they say it's don't worry about
Eternal.
it. Yeah.
You know, I think what they're going for here is, you know how people say Tom Waits has the, like, his skill as a songwriter is to sound like he's just a random guy who's wandered into a bar in the middle of nowhere and is, like, conveying this sort of rough, beautiful truth.
Yeah.
There's an everyman confiding quality.
You get that in the speeches of Nigel Farage as well.
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
everyman. Have you seen him? He can drink a pint.
And,
Not a whole one, but he's saying...
And he smokes cigars.
God, yeah, that's just like all of us do, isn't it?
And he hates foreigners.
God, yeah,
What
it's the
could
British
be
way.
more everyman?
I think that vibe of like someone, if we were going to stage this at this point, he would, like Roma in Glengarry, he would probably sit back, take a drink, maybe a draw of a cigarette, and probably gaze. We'd have some lighting state where the smoke, you could really see it like billow away.
Yeah.
And the audience would follow his gaze as he looks up for just too long, lets it sit, looks back at his, let's be honest, prey, and says, you know, I used to hate my father for dying peacefully in his sleep.
What is going on?
He died while I was still young.
What is going on? Why? Do they ever mention someone that they were
P.S.
looking for?
Wanna fuck?
P.S. If you're wearing a hat in London, you may be the person I'm looking for.
I used to feel sorry for him, but now I realise that it
Hang
was
on, wait. I
actually-
thought you hated him.
Well, he used to hate him, but then also he used to feel,
feel
sorry,
sorry for him.
So I guess that's like, it's the double used, which ironically isn't used very much.
No.
Because of its confusing and meaningless quality.
Okay.
I used to feel sorry for him, but now I realise that it is actually something closer to jealousy and envy.
Oh, both.
You see,
He knows the difference.
Of course he
He's been
does.
on
Of course he
Merriam-Webster.
I now think that he's been on the Stack Exchange for grammar. Or Grammar Girl. You see, I now think that my father was a lucky man. I'm still here, never good enough, never the son who lived up to his name, and forever struggling and always suffering. This is like the end of Act
The one thing he said to me, son, don't be a pervert.
Don't use Craigslist!
And yet here I am, like the great big suicidal disappointment.
If you think back to the 5 previous misconnections, there were some similarities, there were some differences, but I would say that on the whole there was like a commonality of register and of like the kind of devices they were using.
Well, also there was someone they were looking for beyond
that's
their
one
dad.
of But if you were to think about what was missing woefully from the other 5, you'd probably say it was dialogue.
It was,
so here we go. Take me to the hipster part of town, I said. What? The driver in the black taxi said as he looked at me with suspicion.
If you said that to a black cab driver, they'd take you to a back alley and do
Murder you.
unspeakable things to you.
Take me to Hoxton, I said.
Is that it?
And even more specifically.
I love that he knew where he wanted to go.
But he was just
But
being
in the
a
dialogue,
wanker
he
about
just
it.
wants to be a cunt.
There's a cafe on Pitfield Street. Oh, you mean the hipster part of Pitfield Street? Sure.
I laid my fedora gently on the seat next to me.
He small talked me the whole way. Hate that as a verb.
Small talked me.
and mostly about politics and other races. You know,
Politics and other races.
politics and other races. It's like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh, God.
You know, he finally said as he dropped me off, I took my A-levels here. I know
At
these.
this cafe.
I know these alleys like the back of the hand.
That's a threat. Never have heard one.
I know these alleys like the back of the hand.
Oh,
in my glove
God.
box.
And he took his A-levels in the hipster part of town, Hoxton.
He's a pretty cool cab driver.
The Pitfield Road. What was it? Pittville Road?
Pitfield Street.
Pitfield Street
Pitfield Street
Cafe.
Hipster Cafe. Hoxton's finest. Love the little shops. That's why I'm here, I said. I only ride black taxis and I only buy in small shops. Lovely meeting you, son, he said.
He did not. He fucking did not.
Such a zero chance that interaction happened.
Ever could take place.
And if it had happened, was anything like that?
What on earth?
What's their vector?
I know. I do wonder what sort of person they think is going to specifically desire someone who only takes black taxis and only shops in small shops.
On Pitfield Street, specifically. But it's kind of cool, though, isn't it? That's clearly what
is it cool?
Like, well, there's hipster. We've got this whole nihilism thing. And, you know, Nietzsche's very in at the moment.
Oh, has been ever since he was around.
Yeah, ever since, you know, his later writings after he went mad and died were co-opted by his sister, I think.
Yeah.
Who made them all Nazi supporting. Yeah. And then, of course, all spectrums of the political landscape. They love his stuff today, don't they? I mean, the alt-right probably more than everyone else.
Yeah.
But that's a coincidence,
I don't know
I'm
that
sure.
we can say that.
Well, we don't want to draw conclusions.
No. And I suppose there's nothing more hipster than pretending, at least initially, that you don't know where the hipster part of town is.
And pretending even before that you both hate and are jealous of your dad's death.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's edgy. It's the kind of guy you know you're going to be safe
He's
with.
Basically, he's like a 21st century Johnny Cash. He's the man in black, isn't he?
Could be. I see him as sort of a Dorian Gray as well, maybe.
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah.
Well, that's where that Wildian
Of course.
writing comes in, isn't it? Yeah.
I walked through the green doors of the antique furniture store. I'd never before seen a furniture store with a hipster cafe,
What do you mean?
despite the fact that he specifically
knew
tried to
what
go
it
to
was
that
and where it
one.
was.
But I was sold immediately, and so I decided to make it my favourite place to write in the whole world.
I decided there and then.
On the spot. Where's your favourite place to write? Not it's here. Don't worry about it.
This is it. Have you ever written? No. Have you ever taken? No.
You ever seen a furniture store with a cat? Not once.
But it's by far.
Till the day I die. This is how I'm going, I mumbled to myself as I typed ferociously into my laptop computer.
Purposefully run down by the cab driver who so hated me.
Dying while typing. So that's cool, isn't it?
Dying while typing.
Yeah, that's like a rock and roll death.
Yeah, that I think you can get that on t-shirts at
Yeah.
most metal gigs.
Yeah, it's like Jim Morrison sort of.
I was going to say, didn't AC/DC or something? Wasn't that one of their songs? Dying while typing.
Dying while typing, yeah. B-side, but it's really big. What? The girl sitting close to me asked. And so I looked up and saw an English girl in black. You may remember that was the title.
Oh, that was the title.
So that's clever as well. It's always good to reference the title. It doesn't annoy people. It doesn't seem lame.
So that's why it's called that.
Let's be clear here. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. And I've seen plenty of rented beauties.
And I decided there and then she was my favourite thing to write.
To write on. I've seen plenty of rented beauties. Any thoughts on that line?
Well, he's talking about, the, dare I say it, here today and gone tomorrow beauties,
goodness.
passing, fading beauty.
The swipe rights.
What he's saying is he's fucked a lot of sex workers.
Oh, it's not
Because no one else is going near him.
Take me to the hipster part of town, where there's that nice lady on the corner. He smoked into his expensive cigar case. Oh, I'm sorry, I said. I mumble while I
said,
code.
I'm going to die while typing
Got this
here
dead
in this
dad.
first time I've ever seen it. Furniture store / cafe / favourite place to write.
What about I mumble while I code? That's cool though, isn't it?
I sorry.
mumble while I code.
Is that what he said? I missed
sure.
that. I mumble while I code.
I'm sorry, Dal. I tend to mumble while I
when
code.
he said right, I foolishly, because of the quality of the prose, assumed
he's
it
a
meant
polymath.
fiction.
And it's a word that's not
He's
used
a
enough
modern day
about this
Ben
guy.
Franklin. Ben Franklin had a favourite place to write in the whole world,
It would
and
have
it
been
was
Hoxton.
the Pitfield Street
Coding
cafe
flash games. Coding BuzzFeed
shop.
quizzes. She said something back with a smile. For all the detail, he doesn't know what she said, but I couldn't hear it over the jazz music. I don't really get how
The
these
jazz
people
music.
talk anymore. And so I just smiled awkwardly, and then I went back to typing.
Sorry, what was that sentence? Jazz music.
I don't really get how these people talk anymore.
That makes it sound like a racist comment about jazz music.
Yeah, it does. He thinks they talk with the piano.
He thinks scatting is
It
just
is a
like
language.
a devolution.
So I just smiled awkwardly, and then I went back to typing code.
Code.
Just to be clear.
Okay.
They say, and this is Act 3 here.
Who do they say?
Well, they
Who's
they
that?
say,
Who is they?
You know them. They're the guys, the intellectuals,
Not
the
jazz
intelligentsia.
musicians.
They say when the world finally comes to an end, a figure in black appears. Well, a part of me wanted so desperately to speak to her. A part of me wanted so desperately to make her my friend. When the evening ended, she stood up beside me, and then she was gone. The evening ends, and all day doesn't make sense.
Hang on a minute.
Okay,
Hang on.
go on.
So he has gone at night to a furniture store / cafe / jazz club to code. is the angle
It's the
here.
premise.
To code and deliberately not listen to anything anyone says.
It's trendy though, undeniably. I bet he was drinking black coffee.
Is it a look that you think you could
pull off?
achieve?
I
Yeah.
don't think if they were casting for the film, I'd play him. If it was animated, I think I could do the voice. I think I'd drink a bit of whiskey and I'd really amp up the cuntometer
The virginity.
to 100. When the evening ended, she stood up beside me and then she was gone. The evening ends, and all day I sat silently next to the prettiest girl I ever met. And now she's
Oh,
gone.
sorry. So he went there in the day.
Yeah.
Was sat all day saying nothing.
Into the evening.
Listening to jazz.
No, but he
coding.
was saying stuff because he mumbles while he codes.
Sorry,
So he's
but
probably
not saying
like-
anything to anyone else.
Yeah.
She was sat chatting away to him.
Listening to the lovely jazz. And now she's gone. And I'll never see her again. When the apocalypse comes, I mumble to myself, I know she'll be there waiting for me.
What? She said?
What? The taxi driver looked at me suspiciously. An English girl in black. At the end of this world. At the end of this suffering. I smile now. But I do hope she'll be waiting. And that was An English Girl in Black by Prohibited Author.
And do you think, how long have we got to snatch up the movie rights before the big studios get on to
It's
this?
going to be a race to the top, that's for sure.
Who are we casting as each role? Let's start with the taxi driver.
Ray Winston, right off
You
the
think
bat. I
Ray-
see him as he's got the kind of Cockney charm. Maybe Michael Caine if he's up for it.
I was going to say, like, do you think Ray Winston is going to be believable as a man who took his A-levels?
Wow.
I was going to say in
Declan at
Hoxton, but
City,
but just do
Ray.
you think he's...
What if Ray Winston listens to the show and he's so
God,
sad
that'd
now?
be so funny.
You've blown that.
That'd be
relationship.
amazing.
How about Ross Kemp as our cab
yeah,
driver?
I might be able to get him.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think he'd be good.
Ross Kemp, all right. Then who else have we got to get?
I think the girl shouldn't ever be shown from above the neck. I think we should have just like just shots from the side of like profile.
a little bit of hair,
like shoulder
spilling on
and
the shoulder.
Yeah.
But I think it should still be someone absurdly famous, like too famous.
Okay.
It should be like
Natalie Portman.
Joan Rivers' corpse. Like, just
Oh, we've gone
puppeted
very
around.
different directions. That's fine.
What could be
No
more
bad
famous than
ideas.
that?
How about the Pope? He's pretty famous.
Yeah.
You're right, no downside.
What if we see any of his hands?
How many are you suggesting that he's got?
Just at least the 2.
Wow.
And they're both quite old and wrinkly and male.
Yeah, but that could be what's cool in Hoxton. I don't go there myself. And then for
the
our
man
lead,
himself.
for the hero, I mean, he's one of those roles that people are going to be kicking the script around for decades because it's been said that no one has the charisma.
Well, I'm afraid it's going to be Adam Driver.
Okay, so he's going for that offbeat.
Literally fresh from the set as Kylo Ren.
Same
he
costume.
just walks straight in. That hair.
So then the whole English girl in black thing could become a symbolic resonance as well.
Exactly.
Where she is a force
And
user.
the Pope always wears white.
God, there's so many layers already. So there we have it, guys. Missed connections. I think we should make it a regular thing. In some sense, we'll check in with like maybe one every month.
Yeah.
Because there are so many every day. But I do want us to get more interactive with it. I want us to start replying to them.
I want us to start making them.
I want us to start leading people down the garden path of pretending that we are the missed connection.
Well, of course, yeah, obviously.
And I haven't, I'll be honest, investigated the kind of ethical concerns that may or may not be associated with that kind of flagrant on-air, on-record duplicity, but I doubt it.
What I can say is that there are no ethical concerns fucking with whoever wrote that last. You can do whatever you want and no jury will convict you.
It's good.
They'll have, like, you could have a Khashoggi-esque tape of you doing it and they'll just smile and wave.
Nah, who knows what happens.
Yeah.
Anyone could be dissolving bodies these days.
Absolutely. What about Trump?
Being too scared to listen.
Well, yeah, but using the phrase very violent, very vicious and terrible to describe
It's a great rule of
a
three.
man's murder.
It's the kind of rule of 3 I'd put a big red cross through for being shit. Yeah, he's a shame for sure. And this has been That's a Shame, episode whatever I said it was, 119.
Yeah.
We're going to be back with you on Wednesday, and I'm reliably informed it's going to be big.
One hell of a show.
It's going to be hot off the press.
Yeah. So we're doing it late as usual.
Oh, you better believe it. Tired from all our evening activities, we shall persevere nonetheless. Declan, why don't you tell the listeners out there, the Shame City family, aboard the good ship Shame, how to get more involved than they already are?
Well, you may email us. If you'd like us to set up a misconnection for you, perhaps.
We could do that. Yeah, we could draft them for others.
Email us TAS, that's TAS, at shame.city, or alternatively visit shame.city/contact. You can find us and the show on Twitter. The show can be found at That's a Shamecast. Isaac is at IsaacBD and I am at DE Delane.
All true so far.
We've got a Patreon.
God,
if you
we
fancy chucking a couple of dollars our way to help fund this sort of inane, potentially morally scrupulous messing with the public. That'd be patreon.com/shamecity.
Yeah, we would appreciate that. I think we should have a goal to try and get one more patron by the end of the year. Okay. And if it comes December 31st, I'm going to have to sign the fuck up. I'll just message my mum.
Yeah.
Please.
Come on, Ma.
Sad emoji.
I could tell, I could probably get my mum on board now, given that we're doing 2 shows a week anyway.
Oh, yeah, that
so
was
she doesn't
her
have to
complaint.
worry that her donation's going to tip over.
No, exactly. That's fine.
The only thing she has to worry about is that it might tip us over into having to actually do some fucking work.
Oh, yeah, because of the website. So, yeah, starting from just 25 cents an episode, guys, you'd chuck us that. I know you would. If I came up to you in the street with the leg I've got today, insect bitten to fuck, limping I would be, and I said, please, sir, 25 cents, you'd give me $50 minimum. I'm that believable. And yeah, we'd appreciate it a good amount.
Another thing that helps us in ways that we can't even begin to understand / describe would be reviews. Shame.city/review or reviews. And of course, as we mentioned at the top of the show, if you like to get involved in some instant online messaging chat room fun
24/7, 365
with images and files from every one of your favourite hosts except me. That would be shame.city/Discord.
Yeah, do come along. Even if you're not like someone we've spoken to before. In fact, especially if not, because we've
spoken to you, we're tired.
Just bored. Where's the new material? The fresh meat. The English girl in black.
Come on.
Yeah, maybe we should set up a little.
Where's our gentleman at Canning Town?
Yeah. Intelligent eyes he had as well. Do join in the fun there. We'll be there, like, I was just thinking, on Christmas, we could send a message there that was like, hey everyone, happy
Hope
Christmas.
You're having a good Christmas.
Happy
and everyone
New
can
Year.
send photos of their Christmas.
Of whatever their biggest Shane gift was.
And I can just describe it to you all.
Using the power
I can
of
try and
words.
draw it using punctuation.
ASCII art fun. Look, that's about it, isn't it?
Unless people fancy having a wommy bomb.
It's been going quite well, I hear.
Paul
We've got a new listener
Shayeti
from
Chandler.
Singapore, thanks to Paul. Welcome aboard the good ship.
So yes, word of mouth is best of mouth.
Yep.
Tell anyone in the whole goddamn world. Drop it casually into conversation. I
Like
hear
people
that
should
works.
know. Maybe when next time you're in a cab, be like, oh, take me to, whether that's a Shane Boys hangout. And they'll be confused but intrigued. And it's intrigue.
And they'll go where? And then you can just say
Hoxton. The creepy
that
jazz
furniture.
coding furniture. Hell. Look, this has been an episode, and ain't no one gonna tell me different. Until next time, I've been Isaac. You've been
me.
Yeah.
I've been Declan.
You've been knocking out of the park, friend, and we'll see you on episode 1 to the 2 to the O. Bye.
The bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder, my new home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Necessities, the bare necessities, the bare necessities of life will come to you.